Hi there guys and girls, this video is a reply to a friend of mine, the English Dragon, who's included me or nominated me in answering 8 questions. I'm not sure exactly who started this thing, I've just been nominated. So it's a reply to 8 Twitter questions, so I'm just going to answer the questions now. Like, I don't know much about it or who started it, I've just been nominated. So this is that video. Okay, so the first question is fave game. I mean, obviously, because I'm TotalMK, it's kind of obvious that my favourite game is Mortal Kombat. If we want to go deeper into that question, which is my favourite Mortal Kombat, it's Mortal Kombat 1. As I've mentioned in previous videos several times, I like the originality of the very first Mortal Kombat game, even though Mortal Kombat 2 was a lot more fun and there were more characters, like, and when I say more fun, just it was faster and there were more levels, and like, I like Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 pretty much the same. There's things that aren't in Mortal Kombat 2 that are in Mortal Kombat 1, like excessive gore and cool Easter eggs and stuff, that aren't in Mortal Kombat as fiercely as they are in the first one. The first one has so much originality and cool, like, little cool Easter eggs, like having the whole MK team in the pit and things like that. You don't get those really in other games other than Toasty popping up in the corner, you know. If you think about it, that's the only game that's really kind of had a lot of the team kind of in one of the backgrounds. So yeah, fave game, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, number 2 question, fave genre. This is kind of hard because, you know, I'm guessing, or you guys are I think I'm going to say fighting genre. But if we look at the games I play, I don't play a lot of fighting games. I play Mortal Kombat and I play Killer Instinct. They're pretty much the only 2 games I play a lot. And even Killer Instinct, I really haven't played much, you know, at all since I got an Xbox One. Just because I didn't have the proper controller and that, so I kind of put it down. But I kind of really only play Mortal Kombat the most. But when I look at my video game collection, you know, I've got a lot of games like Darksiders 2 or Darksiders 1 or Assassin's Creed, you know. They're more kind of adventure. So I think I'm going to have to say my favourite genre, just because when I look at what I've got on the shelf, would probably be adventure games. You know, I like games where you work through the story, and, you know, whether it be an assassin or, you know, death or war or, you know, whichever character you're playing. Adventure games are a lot of fun, you know, building up to that ending. Number 3, earliest game I can remember. It's tricky with me because there's arcade games and there's like home games. There's like arcade games and Atari 2600 are kind of the earliest things I remember. I didn't really have, you know, there were systems that predated the Atari, obviously, like Odyssey and stuff like that. But in Australia, they didn't seem as known. It was more like Atari, Commodore 64 were kind of the early ones, and then, you know, Sega and Nintendo Nintendo started, and then Sega joined in, and then it went from there. But I'd have to say it'd be an Atari game, and it would probably be, you know, I had this knockoff Atari when I was young, so it would probably be a game I had called Ski Run, where you were, you know, it was a skiing game. You're going down this hill and you had to avoid like snowmen and, you know, I say snowmen, but Atari graphics, right? You had to avoid the squares. You avoid all these things, and then you had to jump over these like mud, what looked like mud, I don't know. You're on white snow, and then you'd suddenly hit this grey snow, and that meant like this obstacle was coming up, like dark grey, and you had to hit the jump and kind of jump over it and to keep going. And as you kept going, your points kept going up. So it'd be Ski Run on, and I'm not sure if this is an Atari 2600 game, because like I said, this was a knockoff console. So it might not be called Ski Run on Atari 2600, it might be called, you know, Ski Challenge or something. I don't know. I've never really looked into it. I don't even have Ski Run anymore because I actually lost that console. Yeah, gave it to my sister and she lost it. It's the only console I've ever lost. But yeah, Atari 26. It was like I said, an imitation Atari 2600 with Ski Run. Played all the 2600 games though. So for number 4, what game am I looking forward to? This is kind of easy, and obviously I could just say the next Mortal Kombat, but I'm not going to do that. Obviously, Mortal Kombat X has just come out. They haven't even announced the next one yet, so I'm not going to just cheap out and say Mortal Kombat for every answer. The next game I'm looking forward to would be Gears of War 4. Now, I'm purely saying that without even seeing anything. All I know is that Rod Ferguson's been working on it. He's heading up Black Tusk Studios, making this game for Microsoft. And Rod Ferguson was like, you know, worked on all the old Gears with Cliff Bleszinski. And, you know, I still haven't played that Judgment, you know, and I really should. But I liked playing Gears of War 1, 2, 3. Gears of War 1 is definitely my all-time favourite. In fact, I was talking about this with my friend yesterday. We're talking about Gears of War 2, how it wasn't as good. Like, I liked playing through the story, but it wasn't as good. He was right, you know. And, like, Gears of War 1 was just so great. And I'm hoping that Gears of War 4 is going to be like that, you know. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to announce. And it was hard for me to say Gears of War 4 because, like, I'm a big Gears fan. I'd say I'm more of a Gears fan more than Uncharted, but Uncharted 4 was close too because Uncharted's a lot of fun to play too, and I'm really looking forward to that. But, you know, when you look around this house, I see the Gears of War faceplate over there on the 360, and I've got the Gears of War Lantern, I've got the Gears of War 3 Xbox, and I've got the Gears of War 3 Epic Edition, and the collector's editions for 1, 2, and 3. You know, I really liked Gears of War. You know, and a lot of people say, you know, it's such a, you know, bro fist or bro game or whatever they call it. Like, yeah, that, you know, who cares if it is? Like, I liked it because it felt gritty and raw. When the guys talked in the first game, they would swear and they'd be, you know, they would act so tough. Like, only the toughest of the tough could be fighting this war. I kind of liked that there was no skinny little runaround that, you know, could take on these locusts. The locusts were big. You know, if you think about it, only big guys, big strong guys or smart people could take on the locust horde. And I kind of liked it. And even though, you know, it was a bit exaggerated, ridiculous with the outfits and that, I'm like, you know, they're wearing big armor and they've got huge necks. I know, you know, but it's a game. I kind of liked that. I'm like, fuck, these guys look really big. Like, they could chainsaw you in half, which is what they do in the game. You know, so I've always liked that about Gears of War, and I liked that they were, you know, Marcus was real raw and, like, you know, nice, you know, just real straight answers, and we're using the Hammer of Dawn right now, you know, stuff like that, you know, just real to the point. Yeah. So Gears of War, I'm going to say Gears of War 4 above Uncharted 4. For number 5, least favourite video game character. Oh yeah, you guys know what's coming. Least favourite video game character. Who could I say? Gee, I wonder. I'm thinking of someone. He's brown. He shakes the ground. His name starts with a T and ends with an R. Actually, wait, no, it ends with an O. Fucking Tremor. Fuck him. Hate that character. You know? And a lot of people, you know, I can already hear people going, oh, he just won't get over it. You know, I hate Tremor. I fucking hate that I hate that Mortal Kombat character. I hate him. I don't care what you put in the comments. Get over it, man. I don't have to get over it. I fucking hate Tremor. Just like there's people out there who hate Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, whatever. Everyone has their own opinion. You know, my opinion is Tremor is a fucking piece of shit. And he's one of the worst Mortal Kombat characters I've ever seen. He wasn't in Armageddon. He wasn't considered a character in Armageddon. They put all the Mortal Kombat characters in Armageddon. There's no Tremor in that. So, for me, you know, he's just a terrible, terrible character. And even though, like I've said, NetherRealm will make him cool in this game, he shouldn't fucking be there. There's a million other Mortal Kombat characters that deserve to be in MKX more. Like Serena, Fujin, you know, just a few off the top of my head. Some of the Cyber Ninjas, you know. There's a million other characters that could have been in there that deserved a spot. But I definitely say Fujin or Serena for more obscure characters that have never had a chance to be in a game. So for me, worst video game character, easy, Tremor. Tremo. For number 6, favourite video game character. That's kind of hard. See, I'm going to say Scorpion. You know, because I love Mortal Kombat. I always play Scorpion. He's my go-to, my main character. I always go to Scorpion. I'm still playing just Scorpion. When I play MKX, I just play Scorpion. You know, I haven't really thought about picking up other characters. I'm just trying to get better with the game and just sticking to one character. I think you can get confused if you start swapping, especially with all these variations and everything. It's easy to get confused. And just sticking to the one character and trying to get better at the game at the moment. But yeah, definitely I'd say Scorpion. But a close runner-up would be Amanuki, who is the Last Ninja. And it's a game you guys probably don't know, but I really, really like that game. And yeah. So Amanuki is a second close to Scorpion. For number 7, which video game deserves a reboot? And I'm not sure if I said 7 before. Maybe I said the wrong number before. Last one obviously should have been 6, whatever. For number 7, which game deserves a reboot? I'm going to go with The Last Ninja. That's easy for me. Now, The Last Ninja, I guess I should say The Last Ninja is a series. There's Last Ninja 1, there's Last Ninja 2 and 3. So, I'm guessing by video game, it's, you know, it just means, you know, I'm not saying Last Ninja 2, which is my favourite Last Ninja. I'm guessing it can just be the game itself, the franchise itself, Last Ninja. The thing with Last Ninja is they were Commodore 64 games, so you guys don't know them at all, most likely, unless you're an old fart like me. But when you think about it, every game console has this winning title on it that's just amazing. Like, you know, if you think about PS3, I'd probably give it to Last of Us. You know, just for graphic technology, gameplay, you know, that sort of thing. There's always one game that's just like fucking amazing. On every console. Every console has that amazing title. And for Commodore 64, it's debated, but it's pretty much The Last Ninja. Most people say Last Ninja. Had awesome graphics, amazing soundtracks, great gameplay, fun, puzzle solving, fighting, you know, and there was a bit of a story too if you read the booklets about Amanuki, about how he was the Last Ninja, how he was, in the first game he was supposed to, he'd reached a point in his training where he had to do this journey through the island of Lin Fang, and he's supposed to go with all the other acolytes, they're called, you know, like junior ninjas, I guess, before they become ninjas. And whoever it was who was training him, his grandmaster, whatever, I can't remember if it was grandmaster or father, I'm going to say grandmaster, said he couldn't go. And he wanted to go, he wanted to, you know, he said someone has to stay behind, you know, and watch the village. Well, they were kind of farmers, from memory. So he was pissed that he had to stay behind and had to wait till the next journey through the island to, you know, become a ninja. But what Amanuki doesn't know is this was his destiny. He was left behind for a reason. What happens is the Amanuki clan, I'm going to say, they have enemies. The Shogun fight with them, and the Amanuki clan on this journey, they have these Koga scrolls that give them the ultimate power, and the Shogun clan want this, or they want to stop them from having it and becoming all powerful. So they ambush the Amanuki clan on this journey and kill them all. They kill everyone. Kill all the acolytes. Kill his grandmaster. Everyone's dead. Amanuki finds out about it. Obviously, he's the last ninja. He's the last of the clan. Everyone else has been killed. He was left behind because, you know, this was his destiny, was for him to become the ultimate ninja. And so then his journey, he wants revenge, so he then does the journey through the island of Lin Fen. And so he encounters the Shogun people on the way. They're your enemies. You beat them up as you go, as you progress in the game, and then the game ends with you finding the Koga Scroll, and you glow white, and you know it just says your quest continues, but you become the ultimate ninja. So these games were just so much fun to play. That's the story of The Last Ninja, but the games themselves were amazing, and for a long time they talked about a fourth Last Ninja. I've mentioned them in past YouTube videos. They had screenshots. They were showing something at E3, I think, maybe just some screenshots. It was System 3, and then it was Studio 3, then it went back to System 3. They're one of those companies that's still around, and I don't know how they're still around. Do you know what I mean? I don't hate them or anything, but they have all these cool, franchises, like from long ago, like International Karate, Last Ninja, Tusker, all these old school Commodore 64 games, and they did an International Karate 2000 on Game Boy Advance, which was awesome. They did a reboot of that, and that was great fun to play. And I mentioned Last Ninja 2, the guy that does the music for that, Matt Gray, he's got this new Reformation project, which I kickstarted. I put in $50 for, which I can't wait to get my hands on. He's redoing all the tracks, and he contacted them, and they gave him permission to use the logos on this cool packaging that we're going to get. So they're still around, and they still have PR, and they still have these logos, and the guy running the company is still Mark Cale, who would write the stories on these Last Ninja games, So they're still around, but I don't know what they do. I mean, they do I looked them up, and they do, pool games or Ferrari games, or they've done all these weird games that I don't understand why they don't do The Last Ninja, because, everyone remembers that one, and they were talking about it for a while, and they had something going. They had screenshots, and they abandoned the project, So if any game deserves a reboot, it's definitely The Last Ninja series. And if I have to pick which game in The Last Ninja series, I'm going to go with Last Ninja 2, my favourite. It'd just be cool to see that revamped into HD, it would be cool to see The Last Ninja come back. And so for number 8, the last of the 8 questions, which gaming franchise doesn't deserve another game? Call of Duty. Just sick of it. I don't play Call of Duty. I know a lot of people play Modern Warfare and that, but there's just been so many Call of Duty games, and I don't really have anything against them. I just think that there's too many, and they come out too frequently. That's my only gripe with them, The only shooting game I play is Counter-Strike. I love Counter-Strike. I've been playing it since 1.3. I played all the way up to 1.6, and then for a long time I didn't get Source, and then I finally caved and got Source because 1.6 servers were empty. So every night I might have one game of Counter-Strike Source. I just love it. I like that it has basic, non-overly detailed Transformer style graphics. And what I mean by that is, do you remember when you watched Transformers 1 and you were like, what am I looking at? It was so detailed. It was like you're looking at a scrapyard. When you look at a scrapyard and there's 100 cars all stacked on each other, and you're trying to make out the details, you can see that there's 10 cars there, but it's all fucking meshed, and you're like, the fuck am I looking at? It's kind of like that. That's what it felt like when I was playing, what was I playing? Black Ops, I think it was. Call of Duty, Black Ops or something. It felt like when I'd see the environments were so detailed, the ground was so detailed, so super detailed, that it was hard to see the people separating from the background, because they'd be in a dark room in a little window there, and the head would go past, you couldn't even see it, and sniped, killed, Whereas I play Counter-Strike, I'm really good, when I see a sniper, I'm like, oh, I can see him, I know where to look, the levels are kind of if you think of Dust 2, it's very sandy, and the CTs are, navy, the terrorists are kind of in sort of olive colours, or I always pick the Arctic guy, which is funny because he's urban camo. But I just feel the characters separate better, and I like playing that game. I like the guns. The guns have realistic sort of tendencies, the way they recoil and the way they work. I find some guns are long range, some are medium range, some are short range. I like all that. And some of that stuff might be in Call of Duty, but it's just that Counter-Strike is a game that came out once and then got essentially, you know, redone. The same levels, they're just like HD. It pretty much became HD version. That's what Source is. I mean, there were a few little changes, but the maps are pretty much exactly the same. You know, whereas they're just doing new Call of Duty all the time. New Call of Duty, new add-ons, you know. Just over it. So those are my 8 questions. I'm not sure if I said I was nominated by the English Dragon. And now I have to nominate someone. I'm going to nominate Alex from Random Assault to answer these 8 questions. Not sure if he will or not. He's a pretty busy dude, but be interested to see what his 8 answers would be. So thanks for watching, guys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.